All right, so this is just a video about my thoughts on Cold Steel for 2021, and to a certain point where I think they're kind of heading. Um, some of the stuff I'm talking about is just kind of my experience with Cold Steel too, and so I know other people have different experiences and stuff like that. Also, I know the restrictions that the pandemic has put on companies and stuff like that too is just like the workforce and the importation and materials in general. But I think there's some things that are noteworthy to talk about, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna be talking about. So, just to start it off, I chose these three knives. I think they're a good representation of old Cold Steel on just the designs, their style, and yeah, they're crazy knives. They're huge, but they're well made. Um, Sturdy. You can use them with confidence. But more than anything, they're unique. You don't really see these. You don't see these like other companies making, like 7.5 inch blades or 6 inch blades. And that's the thing with uniqueness comes a lot of risk taking. It's just like they're not looking at a niche, or they're not looking, at a specific model, and they're going, okay, that's that thing's making a lot of money. Let's copy that, and then basically, um, you know, try to get in that market, in that part of the market. They're kind of making their own little branches on things that they think um, what a knife should be. And that kind of brings me to the point on new Cold Steel. So that's the problem. I'm not seeing anything new with new Cold Steel. There's one knife specifically I'll talk about in a second, but I've kept up with their YouTube channel. I've when the Blade Show came out for the 2021 Blade Show, I saw everything that I could that had to do with Cold Steel, because I was very interested in to see what was new with them. What else were they going to come out with? And in general, everything's basically almost the same. There is a lot of like new materials for so they a lot of their fixed blades are coming out in 3V, which is nice. And they did come out with the Talwar series again, and then the Holdout 1 series again. So they are coming out with new things, but these are all like proven stuff. They're not, and yes, I understand that, maybe it's because of all this other stuff that's happening that they're not willing to take a risk, because it's not a good time to take a risk. But um, the two things, and this is me talking about the future, just generalizing what I think, that I see as a problem is that the people responsible for these knives are no longer with them. So we were told that they were going to keep around Andrew Demko and Lynn Thompson. So these two people are the ones that are basically accredited with making Cold Steel what it is, and they're no longer there now. Even though they said in the beginning, um, Andrew Demko started selling his own knife. He's always made like custom batches and stuff like that of knives, but now he started actually making the 80-20.5 with a shark lock, and started selling it, like at Blade HQ and Knife Center and stuff like that. And Lynn Thompson actually, and this I didn't know about this until recently. He actually started making his own company, but I guess he can't sell knives. He can't sell folding knives, and I guess fixed blades. But I'll put a link in the description on his company. I think it's called Never Unarmed or something like that. But it's like blow darts and volley songs. So okay, that's different. But he's not really doing anything in the company. I've seen him in the videos, but every time I see him in any of the videos for Cold Steel, it's just like he's passing on the torch to them. That's what it seems like to me. He's always showing a knife that's already been shown before. He's already made videos on himself. I mean, with himself before. Um, but now he's just like reiterating it, and at the same time, like passing on the torch. That's what I see it as. So I don't know. One of the things that I did see that was in one of the videos, and I'll link that video too. on the Blade Show 2021 was they're gonna make a new Warcraft Tanto. And anybody who's seen my videos, I think has seen at least one time this knife. And so they're coming out with a new version of it. And this is probably the only one I see that's like, not only is it a newer version and different materials, it's also being redesigned. So this is going to be, in my mind, very interesting to see, because even though it's the same name, it's their version of it. It's their in total, it's kind of their version of it. So this is, I think it's a good analogy to what's going on with their company. They're taking the Cold Steel name and then doing their own version of it. Same thing with this knife. It's gonna be, they're gonna have two types. They're gonna have an economy type, which is gonna be 40-34 steel, and I think they call it GRN handles, which is like FRN handles, just plastic handles. And you can actually get that now. You can actually get that one knife right now, but I wouldn't recommend it. I don't like 40-34 steel. And there's nothing wrong with FRN, but it is a drop from G10. And then the newer, I mean the more pricier version, which I guess is supposed to not compete because it's the same company, but is going to be compared to this, is San Mai. And so this is S30, I mean CPM 3V, and it's going to have G10 handles too. So that in the future is something that I do want to look into. I don't know if I'll buy it. If it looks good enough, I think I will buy it. But the San Mai version. But so far, looking at it, I don't see anything, just from, the design point, in my opinion, I don't see anything too bad, except I don't like that they made it, it's a hollow grind. And this, in my opinion, is supposed to be like a bushcraft knife too. Bushcraft self-defense. And that kind of takes it out of the equation, out of that specification of bushcraft. If it's hollow grind, it's just a more petite, behind the edge deal with that. So besides that, the last thing I want to talk about, just my experience. This is a very small one. I recently called about a month ago. I called Cold Steel and I asked them just general questions. And one of the questions I had, which had to do with warranty, a very specific question was, so this knife, these have Teflon washers in them, and Teflon washers, they'll wear out, and all material wears out, but in comparison to phosphor, bronze, and bearings, they wear out a lot faster. So what happened with this is my most used Cold Steel XL, Espada XL, and what happened was they just they developed a rip in it, in the washers. So after a while, it peaked out from the top, the Teflon washer, and then it just came out. Same thing happened to both sides. So I asked them how would I fix this? If their warranty covered it, or if it's something I can send over and just have it fixed. You can just charge me and have it fixed. And they said that no, basically, both of those weren't an option. So I asked them, do you guys sell the washer, the Teflon washer itself? So I'll just fix it myself. And they don't sell the Teflon washer. So the reason I bring this up, and the reason I actually asked them, was because I actually asked old Cold Steel the same question. And this was before, all this stuff happened, because I've had this, not really a problem with this. It still closes and stuff fine. It's just not as smooth. But I asked them the same question and said, yeah, just send it over and we'll fix it. So it isn't a huge thing to me, but it is a difference. And I just wanted to bring it up. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Just wanted to put out my 2 cents on the whole thing. All right, bye.